want you to take a little journey with me here, beginning today. I want you to play a bigger game with me, if you will, but I understand this will take a higher level of intellectual effort. You guys hear what I just said? See, 3%ers understand I have to choose to be moving forward, playing a bigger game, but I have to take on putting into practice a higher level of intellectual effort. See, 97%ers basically choose not to exercise intellectual effort. And we've had this discussion before that the reason they don't do it is because so many times the process is painful. Because you begin to tear down a way of thinking and being that most call their comfort zone. It's a similar process to when your muscles are sore after lifting weights. They're just being torn down. And that's a painful process. But the wise man knows this is a step towards one building a bigger and a stronger muscle. This morning, I ask each of you to join me. Begin taking a journey for you to have a fearless life. Yep, a life free of fear. That life is attained when, simply put, you become powerful. To love your life, you must be able to live a life of acceptance. In other words, there's nothing life dishes out that you're not able to deal with, and deal with it powerfully. We understand that our society and our culture is designed for its members to survive, not thrive. See, the thrivers are powerful people who don't let fear dictate their actions. For crying out loud, we sit around, there's people, 97%ers, they fear being sued. They fear finishing last. Fear of going broke. Fear of the mole on your back. Fear of the new kid on the block. Fear of the sound of the clock as it ticks us closer to the grave. We sophisticate investment plans, create elaborate security systems, and legislate stronger militaries. Yet we depend on mood-altering drugs more than any generation in history. Do you guys know that ordinary children today are more fearful than psychiatric patients were back in the 1950s? Fear, it seems, has taken a 100-year lease on the building next door and set up shop. Oversized and rude. Fear is unwilling to share the heart with happiness. Happiness complies and leaves. Do you ever see the two together? Can one be happy and afraid at the same time? Clear thinking and afraid at the same time? Confident and afraid at the same time? Merciful and afraid? No. Fear is the big bully in the high school hallway. Brash and loud. Extremely unproductive. For all the noise that fear makes and the room it takes, fear does very, very little good. Simply put, folks, fear keeps people from living and transformed lives. Fear, I heard this from one of my leadership mentors. Fear never wrote a symphony or a poem, negotiated a peace treaty. Fear never cured a disease. Fear never pulled a family out of poverty or a country out of bigotry. Fear never saved a marriage or a business. Courage did that. Faith did that. People who refused to consult or cowered to their timidities did that. They hurt us into a prison and slam the doors. Folks, walking out of those doors is simple. And it's a simple choice, but it just requires a different perspective. I'm here to tell you it feels pretty good too. Fear unleashes a storm of doubts. It also turns us into control freaks. Does this sound familiar to you? Or have you ever said this? Fix it or else. See, fear at its center is a perceived loss of control. It's dreadful. It sucks the life out of the soul. Curls us up into basically an embryonic state and drains us dry of contentment. Understand that when fear shapes our lives, safety becomes our God. And when safety becomes our God, we worship the risk-free life. Can the safety lover ever do anything great? Can the risk-averse really ever do any noble deeds? No. The fear-filled you can't even love deeply. Why? Love is risky. Can't give to the poor. Benevolence has no guarantee or return. Fear-filled, you can't dream wildly, that's for sure. And what if your dreams sputter and fall from the sky? The worship of safety really, how do I best articulate, it emasculates greatness. Even in the Bible, did you realize that the one statement made more than any other is don't be afraid? More than any other. Now, just so we're clear here, understand fear serves a healthy function. One of my mentors calls this the canary in the coal mine, a warning of potential danger. A dose of fright can keep a child from running across a busy road or an adult smoking a pack of cigarettes, and it's appropriate reaction in a burning building. And you guys have heard me share the distinction between authentic fear and inauthentic fear. Inauthentic fear is just a story you create in your head. Authentic fear is the one that you open the tent in the mountains and a bear is sitting there getting ready to eat your head. This morning, be with me. Have a perspective that the fears are, a lot of them are based on a simple question of asking yourself if you really matter. So many people fear you don't. We fear about being liked. We fear nothingness, insignificance. And found that so many people are consciously or subconsciously focused on just being liked. That comes from a place of judgment. Constantly saying to themselves, if I'm not bad, I'm not wrong, I'm not good, I look good, blah, 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 blah. What they are is asleep. Wake up. Don't sell out living a transformed life to be liked. This fear shows up in the lack of faith. Faith in themselves, faith in others, faith in your ability to create a new possibility for your life moving forward. Feed the faith and your fears will starve. Feed the fear and your faith will starve. We've talked about this with Andy Andrews on the Leadership Mastermind call. Worry, fear, it's the misuse of what I believe God's creative imagination that He's put in us. Today, my fellow CC Pro members, choose to live a fearless life. Choose to show up. Leaders wake up, dress up, and show up. And they do it fearlessly. Today, as a 3% leader that I must stand that you be today moving forward, choose to live a fearless life. And do something really good and really positive for somebody today. But do it in the knowing there's absolutely no way they could ever repay you.